All right, in this video, we have a 1997 FZJ80 that actually is going up for sale. So I'm going to have this video up for probably the next 10 days so people can see it. If there's any interest, reach out to me. I'll put some of my details in the description. And well, if we have no takers, it'll probably go to Bring a Trailer. And as you know, on Bring a Trailer, you end up paying 5% of whatever that final bid price. So here's a chance to have ownership of a 1997. This is a California, its entire life, so born and raised in California. No accidents. It's just a phenomenal rig, not a speck of rust. And the best part is the last owner before me did so much to this. So this was just stock its whole life, you know, so it was a soccer mom's truck. Then the final guy who bought it in 2018, or previous owner to me, bought it in 2018, and he outfitted this thing. So what did he do? Well, he did nearly $24,000 worth of aftermarket parts, plus install, plus tax. So it's probably, you know, once everything's installed, there's 30 grand on this truck. So let's go over. The obvious is the SLE rear bumper. So as you know, that's the newer one. So you couldn't even get this until I think 2019. So most of this stuff was during COVID added onto this vehicle because he bought it, was enjoying it, and then added all these goodies. So SLE, and yeah, if you know SLE, they had the tubular. Now it's the flat. But there you have it, brand new, brand spanking new. I mean, the guy who did all this has a newborn, so I guess at the time a 1-year-old, and now is a 3-year-old, and needs to expand his business. So he decided, I'll come back to Land Cruisers, needed to buy a box truck, and hence had to sell this. It has metal tech, so that's the beefy, awesome sliders. So there you go, metal tech there. And look at these goodies. King shocks, Dobinson with the Ironman front bar, Ironman lights. It has the Warn 10,000S winch. That bar is brand new. LED lights. Oh, and speaking of lights, the quads. I don't know if any of you have ever shopped around for quads. They are expensive. Not the lights themselves, just the whole fixture. And then you have to have someone come and wire that up. Those are about $1,500. And look at that look. Isn't that sweet? So aggressive looking. Those are effectively 35-inch tires. Oh, as you can see, brand spanking new. Got a King shock up front. It's got a snorkel. And as you can see, you know, this is the emerald green, and it is beautiful. When the sun hits it, that metallic pops, and when it's in the dark, you know, or it's in the shade, it just looks black. And the paint is amazing. And no accidents if I didn't mention that already. And that's important because this is a hard color to match, and it is all original paint. In the back, the only thing I would add here would be a Delta Panhard lift. All new. That's just dirt back here. And has, let me show you this. It's got all the Ironman upper and lower control arms. So that, we can get up there. Look at all those goodies. Also a double cardan drive shaft. What else? What else? This thing is just so equipped. Drives amazing. We'll go for a quick spin here. The tires, so you have a spare, full tread. These are the Nitto Terra grapplers, the ATs. And I'd say the tires all around are about 75%, 80% tread. So you got a lot of meat on these. Even wear. Even look at just how sweet the frame is. Look how clean that is. And there's your bypass, and those are adjustable king shocks. I had this truck at KOH, just as something for us to drive around from event to event. And there's a lot of whoops there, which is like, you know, the big mounds one after the other. So most cars can't do that. And I have a bunch of friends that have Jeeps, Gladiators on 40s and 43-inch tires with $15,000 king shock setups with mega bypasses, and they couldn't believe how smooth and how plush this is. The king shocks is definitely a plush ride. Look at that paint. I'd say for the paint, the only blemish is here, and same thing on the roof. If I can get up there. Sometimes people don't, when they wax their cars, they don't wax the roofs. Wax your roofs, people. Protect your paint. But on this, I would, for an inexpensive other mod, I'd put a Prinsu roof rack for like 900 bucks. You wait for them to come on sale. They look amazing on the 80 series. That's a simple mod. That's a do-it-yourself at home. You don't have to pay someone to install. Okay, but before we go for the ride, you're probably wondering how much? How much? So, 36,000 bucks is where I'm going to have this priced at. And, you know, if I have multiple people call and contact, I'll let them both know, and it would be kind of, okay, whoever wants to pay over that. But it won't be anything lower than 36. Because if you think about it, like I said, it's got $23,000 to $24,000 worth of aftermarket goodies, plus tax on that. And you can calculate the tax. I just looked up, you know, the price of all that. And it's not like it was put on 10 years ago. It's all new stuff. And install, you know, unless you're putting these bumpers on yourself, no one does that for free. So install of all these goodies, God, that's probably $5,000 to have all that stuff installed. So if you calculate everything, it's like the truck is $6,000 and all the goodies on it are 30, you know, so you're getting the base, the truck itself stock for $6,000. And it's a 97. And yeah, it's not a collection edition. It's not a 40th anniversary, but that was a bunch of BS. That was just Toyota trying to sell as many as they could. There was too many. It didn't really make it special. And to me, you know, the funny thing is, as we look at the interior, and I know you can't smell what I can smell, but boy, it smells amazing. It's got new car smell because I put a special leather conditioner and it just smells like new leather. It's a company out of the UK that I use. But yeah, those special editions that are two-tone, I mean, two-tone, maybe back then was cool. I'm sure we all have the Tommy Bahama two-tone, you know, silk shirt. But anybody wearing that two-tone anymore, they're in used car sales, I'm sure. So a little passe. I just like the vehicle to be a solid color, and then the leather inside to be a solid color. So real clean back there. It's got the seats and real clean back there. Actually, we'll pop the back. What's cool about this new sleeve is I can hold the camera and just do this with one hand. Swing that one out. And voila. Couple of my rags there because I was detailing it this morning. LED light in there. Clean carpets. And I never unfolded those seats. Those seats are always clean because people rarely use them. But if you overland that, these obviously, you know, you can just unbolt them and take them out. And then close this all with one hand. How cool is that? Those boards up there, those are action tracks. I actually have those, so if anybody's interested in getting those, they're better than Max Tracks. I have a video on them. They're phenomenal and cheaper than Max Tracks. Oh yeah, and then the burning question: is it triple locked? Not from factory, but it has ARB. So you got a compressor, onboard compressor, which is great for airing up, airing down, and rear and front. So obviously the truck comes with the all Land Cruisers come with the center locker and center locker, and then you can lock your front and rear. Some people like the e-locker, some people like the air, because the air is instant. You know it's on, you know it's off, versus sometimes that e-locker is a little tricky. All right, let's take her for a spin, shall we? It's got a nice double din deck. Let me just find my key in my pocket. So that's a stereo system's phenomenal. You can crank your tunes here. There we go. Oh yeah, and everything's working. People are always, does the sunroof work? And there it is on the tilt. And there it is opening. So yes, sunroof fully operational. It always stops there for safety. Okay. And no, not check engine lights because I haven't started the car. There we go. And I haven't put my seatbelt on yet. So the miles on this, it's got just under 244,000. I have extensive records on it. First two owners did everything at the factory. Everything that was suggested was performed on this vehicle. And the last owner before me had a lot of stuff done at like just Toyo Master type shops. But the knuckles have been done, the diffs have been, everything's been serviced. Everything is done on this vehicle. All right, even has a CB. That's what that big cord is there that you can see coming up the corner. So let's all right, welcome aboard Land Cruiser Getaways. We'll be cruising at an altitude of about 4 feet, and sit back, relax. We apologize for the lack of cup holders, but just hold your hot Starbucks in your hand, and you won't be spilling it with these plush King shocks. So enjoy the ride, and thank you for riding Land Cruiser Adventures. All right, so you got your cool CB there, and there we go. And yes, the D light is off. That's a common thing that happens on these cruisers, but not a big deal. You don't have this light glaring back at you. But it drives so nice. I did mention it has the snorkel, and that is hooked up and operational. Other cool things, it's got the S-Pod, so that right below the double din. So that is basically your best auxiliary light and function controller. So that is phenomenal. I just didn't clean that off the windshield. If you can see that, that's because he had a phone mount there, the previous owner. And then it does have Bluetooth. There's your speaker up here. I really don't know how far we're gonna drive. I mean, it drives as it should. But when I get out of it, I should show you the those quad lights. They are just sick. So cool. And this one's actually, you know, MPG on Land Cruisers are nothing to write home about, but this one is actually pretty good. I've taken note. It actually gets better fuel mileage than my other FZJ. And quite honestly, the only reason why I would not keep this is because I have a 1995 FZJ. It was the first one I worked on. It's got sleeves, got all the goodies on it too. But I can't have two of them, and I do have a diesel as well. So I have 3 80 series, so I have to sell one. But I gotta tell you, if I did not have my lifted 1995 FZJ80, I would 100% keep this. I love how this lift is slightly higher. This truck would fit 37s easily. Oh yes, it is re-geared. It's got 488s. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of stuff, so I'll put it in the description, all the goodies that it has. And we'll stop up ahead. Just cruising along. The only light on is my seatbelt because I neglected to put it on here. You know, even that the front air spoiler, whatever you call that, not a big fan of it. Looks kind of cool on this one though. And I guess what's good is keeps all the rock chips off the hood. All right, let's jump out and take a look at those lights. See, now it's looking a little bit more black. Oh, look at those lights. Gotta love that. So cool looking. All right, so hit me up. You know, if this does go on Bring a Trailer, quite honestly, if it doesn't sell between now and then, again, if it was to go 35, 40, add 5% to that. You know, if it was 40 grand, add 2G. And if you look at Bring a Trailer or Cars and Bids, you can see history, or I Hate Mud, you can see history on the vehicles as far as what's sold. You know, if you're into Land Cruisers and follow people like that Jailbreak, he sold his for what, 45,000 bucks, and it's, you know, it's Rhino Liner. So if you want Rhino Liner, yes, there's some like that. This, not Rhino Line. So you can, you know, the wife will like it, you can take the family out in it, and you can go off-road with it. Actually, you can do crazy. I mean, this is just fully equipped. This being the key. Solid axles, fully serviced, original wheels. I like these best with their original wheels. So clean on the back. But yeah, I mean, if this was a 120,000 mile with no mods on it, sure, it would probably go for 75, as there has been some that have gone super high. But a lot of overlanders, they're just beat up, you know, or people put Rhino Liner, they just, you know, it's been used. The amazing thing about this one, and you will tell when you actually see it live, how clean it is it truly was a stock, you know, soccer mom truck. Then the last guy before me who bought it in 2018 had aspirations to make this just a beast, and he did. He put the best, King Shocks, Dobinson, double cardan, like whoever advised him on this, advised him right. Did some beautiful stuff to it. Love those quad lights. But he didn't off-road. I mean, I asked him, I said, like, where have you been? What did you do? He went to, well, Ocotillo Springs, like out in Palm Springs. That's not rock crawling. So he really did not do much with this vehicle. Nor did I. I took it to KOH, that's it. I have a rock crawler. I got my 40 series that's sitting on 40-inch Trepadors and a 5.7 liter engine, so. But this one is sweet, as you can tell. So I'm in Orange County. So if someone is interested, if you're out of state, if you flew into John Wayne, you would get picked up in this beautiful ride. And this thing's ready to go cross country. There's nothing you need to do to this vehicle except for change the oil, maybe in 8,000 miles, because it does have Mobil 1. It's got synthetic oil. Thank you. So, just got thumbs up from that jogger. and it gets thumbs up a lot. It's got the nice badging on it too, slee built for the slee in the back. But there you have it. So it'll be up here this evening. I'll post it and reach out. You got questions, if you're local, come check it out, come test drive it. And if it doesn't sell, oh yeah, if someone wants to negotiate, I'm sure I'll take 3,500 bucks off, but the bumper gets removed, right? So there's so much cool stuff on this truck that I'd love to put on my black diesel. I have a black diesel that I want to keep stock, but yeah, if someone wants to put a 4x4 labs, I would love to take this, because right now they're back ordered. You can't even get these. I think they're 6 months out, and as soon as they have some available, there's a waiting list. So I'd love to put this on my black diesel. So yeah, that's the only way I'd negotiate the price. I think the price is set fair. I think 36K is way more than fair. Or what's the alternative? Go find yourself a California clean, rust-free Land Cruiser, and then get ready to put 30 grand into it to get it up to snuff with this, and that's going to take you months. Where this is ready to go overland tonight, tomorrow. If you have a big trip planned, this rig will get you there. And you don't have to trailer it. That's the best part with this. You roll to the trail, you go enjoy, and then you roll home in super comfort. Because those King shocks, they're plush. They're not like the old man Emu. They're not like Icons. It's King, you know. King is the best. All right, so there you have it. Let's hope this gets a enthusiast, as it well deserves. This beautiful Land Cruiser finds a great home. All right, reach out if you're interested. Thanks, and happy trails.